In this video, we're going to go through the entire map of Baldur's Gate 3 for Act 1. Subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel. We give you the secrets to crush Baldur's Gate 3. So one thing you can see here that there's a lot of different maps to look at. And so we'll go through them all as we can. So first is the main map, where we have the Nautiloid ship on the bottom. We've got the chapel where you find withers. We've got the roadside cliffs, fast travel, overgrown ruins, fast travel. The Emerald Grove environs, which leads you to the Emerald Grove up high. Let me go to, sorry. Let's move the map around. And we got the Emerald Grove up high in the corner here. You need to get to the Emerald Grove environs to get to the Blighted Village. The Blighted Village is kind of in the middle of everything. That'll take you to the Riverside Tea House if you go down a couple different ways. If you go south, you get to the Riverside Tea House. There's an entrance at the Riverside Tea House to the Underdark area, but you have to kill the hag, and you have to wear a mask to reveal that. Maybe we'll look in that more closely a little later. Right here is a mountain pass entrance on the west side of the Blighted Village, so you just keep on going west or south of the Goblin Camp and west. There's an entrance to the mountain pass. Right, and so you get from the Underdark and the Mountain Pass, you get to Act 2. I think you don't actually have to do anything in the acts, you just have to physically go to the Act 2 area to start Act 2. The Goblin Camp is east of the, or west of the Blighted Village, so this is the west side, obviously this is the east side. So you're basically moving east from west when you start the game, because when the Nautiloid ship crashes, it crashes on the southeast side. And then north of the Blighted Village, right, you've got the Risen Road. And there's going to be a toll house here. There's Wakeen's Rest, which is going to be on fire. Near the stables, there's going to be an entrance for some bandits. And if you beat them all and get through it, then you can get to the Underdark that way. So that's an Underdark entrance. There's an Underdark entrance to the Goblin Camp. There's an Underdark entrance to the Blighted Village. You go down the well, right, and right by where the matriarch spider is, there's going to be a green hole. You can jump in, and as long as you have Featherfall, you can get in that way. So there's a Blighted Village entrance to the Underdark. There's an Underdark entrance in the Hag's Lair. There's an Underdark entrance to the Goblin Cave near where that optional companion is, who is one of the chosen or whatever. So is infected with the parasite. And then in this Wakeen Rest. So there's actually 4 different locations that you can get to the Underdark, but only 2 to get to the Mountain Pass. And one of them's marked. Now this is where you're going to meet Voss with his dragon, and the other Githyanki over there. And so those are the 6 ways you get to the regions that take you to Act 2. So let's go to the Underdark. Well, actually, let's see if we can go to different. Well, these are fast travels. So all these things here are fast travels on this map, right? So we've got Overground Ruins, Roadside Cliffs, Emerald Road Environs, Blighted Village, Risen Road, Whispering Depths, Goblin Camp, Riverside Tea House. And then we have to go to the Underdark map to see the Underdark map, right? So The Selenite Outpost, I think that's where you come in from the Goblin Camp. This is the Tea House entrance, I guess. Here we've got an arcane tower. This is the beach area is where the decrepit village is, not to be confused with the Blighted Village. This is where the slavers are, the Duragars are. The susser tree is where you get the bark for the susser tree. Up here we're going to have there's going to be a quest that you get that takes you up there. There's also several secret areas within here. The Myconid colony, so if we're looking at, we have the Selenite Outpost, the Myconid colony, the susser tree, the beach. Those are the 4 fast travels in the main Underdark. And then once you get to the beach, then you can get to the Grymforge. So that's a different map. So the Grymforge is right there's the adamantine forge down low. Ancient Forge is where you'll find many of the molds, and also you'll start finding the things to forge with. We have a video about what you should forge at the Ancient Forge, an armor video. And here's how you get to Act 2, right? This is the elevator in the Grymforge, right? So we've got I guess a secret place over here. Maybe I could check that out. Just seeing that. So Underdark Ancient Forge, Underdark Grymforge, and then these fast travels here are going to take us to the Mountain Pass area. There's actually a lot more to do, I think, in the Underdark than there is in the Mountain Pass area. There's like one big mission, 2 big missions maybe in the Mountain Pass area, but there's a lot of little things you can do in the Underdark that you can have a lot of fun with, and you get more powerful. So you've got the Rosemorn Monastery, right? And so this is where you're going to, gather things so you can have the peaceful ending, or so you can get the legendary mace without blowing up the world, potentially. This right here is you leave the Mountain Pass and enter Act 2 right there. The crags here, you're going to get a mission about an egg from a vendor. And then the Rosemorn Monastery is its own thing, mostly related to getting the mace, if you bother with that, although you can skip that. And it also finding Creche Y'llek. So Wakeen's Rest is back on the other map. The Zentrarian Hideout is its own map in Creche Y'llek. We'll go to the Zentrarian Hideout in a second, but let's look at Creche Y'llek. So Zentrarian Hideout is one of the entrances to the Underdark. So in Creche Y'llek, these are the Githyanki, right? So one thing early in the story, they hint that you can get a cure if you go to Creche Y'llek and you go to the infirmary. I recommend going to the infirmary first if you're going to Creche Y'llek. But you go through the captain's quarters to here, and this is where the Inquisitor is. On the side of the Inquisitors, there's going to be some puzzles to solve so you can get the legendary mace for your cleric. Let's see if I can find if there's a fast travel. I don't think so, or if I can easily get to that map. I think I'd have to physically go down there to show you the map for that, but it's a relatively small map. So next one we'll look at is the Zentrarian Hideout. It's kind of a secret area. There's also a lot of secret areas in the Underdark. I would have to uncover them. I'd have to go to them and then show it to you. Maybe I'll look back at my old captures. Okay, but you can see the Zentrairian hideout is a big map in itself, and it's got this entrance to the Underdark there. And you know, similar, there's going to be a big map for the Tea House once you get in kind of underneath there. But there's 3 or 4, maybe 2 or 3 Underdark secret places you also will find. So there's like the fish colony and whatnot. So even though I'm showing you all the kind of the basic maps that have waypoints on them, there's a lot that I'm not showing you because the waypoints don't take you to that special kind of dungeon map. And the same thing that there's going to be a dungeon map for once you get in the Goblin Camp, right? So if you go inside the Goblin Camp, and that might be not too time consuming, so we could do it. You go in the doors. So you can see I've done just basically everything here. So I think the only parties that are still there and alive are the... So here's like the Goblin Camp map, right? So this is the Underdark travel point for the Goblin Camp. So it's a pretty big area. And let's see, maybe we can go see if we can go and see what the map looks like for the Hag. So that would be the Riverside Tea House. Let's see if we can, where it is here in relation to where we are. Right here. Okay, so you go here and then you go through the fireplace. You know, and you have choices what you're going to do with the Hag or not do with the Hag. Like I said, you probably need to kill the Hag if you want to use this as a entrance to the Underdark. Let's see if we can rotate this. There we go. We want to go in here. So we go through the fireplace, and that leads us to the Hag's lair. And this is our alternative Underdark entrance. Okay, we haven't got in enough. Let's see, let's go home. Okay, we need to go down. Okay, so now maybe we have the map here. Yeah, so we have the map here. And the entrance is here. This is kind of near where I think you fight the Hag if you fight her. But you have to put on one of her masks. But if you put on one of her masks and she's still alive, then I think she can control you, and that might be a game over. So definitely save before you put on one of her masks. You'll kill 2 or 3 people that have masks, and so you'll be able to collect those. Okay, so next up, let's go back to the Blighted Village, and we'll show you the underneath map for the Blighted Village. That's fairly easy to do. Okay, so here we go. And I guess the Whispering Depths, I think that's going to be... maybe, I'm not sure if that's the end. Maybe that's just a fast travel here. I don't think, maybe you can jump everywhere. I'm sure you can jump in the green place where the ancient spider is, the big spider is. So right here, so here we go. Okay, so Gale, we want him to cast Featherfall. if we can get our whole party together here. And so this is a little bit different. Oh, and I don't even think I have Featherfall on his spell book, so we're going to change that. Featherfall here. Okay, there we go, and we're going to cast it. All right, and then we want to jump. Don't jump on the web. There we go. And there you go. It's like a fast travel. You get a cutscene at first, but right now it's just... And we're in the Underdark, right? Fairly close to the Myconid colony. So this is the entrance for the Goblin Camp. This is where you get from the Hag's Lair. So you get in kind of slightly different places. And then if you're trying to get to Act 2, then it's the Grymforge where you want to be. And you reach the Moonrise Towers through the Grymforge. Alright. Subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel. We give you the secrets to crush Baldur's Gate 3. So hopefully that was helpful to you. Like I say, there's a few more regions in the Underdark. Maybe I'll add to the end of the video or not. It may be too long right now, but that's most of what is in Act 1. Okay, so I thought of a few other places. Number one is the ruins of the chapel. So this is the chapel map here. I believe in the back is where Withers is. And then there's also kind of a secret location in the Emerald Grove. So let's go over there to the secret location in the Emerald Grove. So we'll go to the Emerald Grove environs. And it's probably easiest to get to the door. Let's see if we can find the door here. No, that's the main door. Now, my Emerald Grove is like all poisoned up, so we're going to try the back entrance right here. So this is off to the side, and this goes on for quite a while. It took me a long time to explore this originally. So the Emerald Grove is just to the right of where they are now, and we're going to go through the stone door. And here's the map. Right, and so there's quite a bit down there in the underground passage. And so I think the next place that I haven't shown you yet is the Festering, what do they call it? The Festering Cove with the fish people in the Underdark. Festering Cove with the fish people is pretty well hidden here. We're actually closest, I think, to the entrance to the Underdark via the Hag's house. That is the Tea House. So you can see right here, we're all bunched here. There's a cragged rock we can go down. We've got a few members of our party across. We're just going to try to see if we can go down with Lizelle so we didn't have to go through the problems that... And here we are in the Festering Cove, and there you go. So you take the cragged rock up to the Underdark, and this is the Festering Cove map. Subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel. We give you the secrets to crush Baldur's Gate 3. Let me know if there's any maps that I missed here. But I think these are all the maps that I can think of for Act 1 of Baldur's Gate 3.